So this is the cage that hubby and I have made for little baby Hammy Chandler. He is a long-haired Syrian hamster, and this is actually a cage that we already used for our previous hamster Lucy, but when I had it for her, and there is actually a photo of it in my Building Your Own Rabbit condo at the very end. I just showed a couple different ways that we used the NAC cubes. So hers was actually just the bottom part there. So it was 3 grids long by 1 wide and then 1 high. So what I did this time was I actually added a second level onto it, just because I know how much Lucy loved to climb. Chandler loves to climb too. He's already been climbing like all the way up and down. So what I wanted to do was give him that extra space and that extra height. I would also like to quickly thank Animal Mag Kate for inspiring me to go ahead with the second level of this cage. If you've ever seen her cage tours of her hamster Pumpkin's cage, you'll see why I felt a little competitive and you know, was totally inspired by everything she's gotten there. I have nowhere near that amount of stuff yet for Chandler, but that's what really made me, just seeing how awesome that cage was and how spoiled her Hammy was, made me want to spoil my Hammy just as much. So thanks, Animal Mag Kate. The 1x3 bottom is 36 inches by 14 inches, I believe. When I multiplied the length and the width together, that gave us 588 square inches. And the minimum a hamster should be in is 300. So this is more than enough space for Chandler to hang out in. And I will just give you a little tour. Obviously, the grids are going to be too wide for a hamster. So what we've done is we've used hardware mesh. These are the smallest I believe you can find, and it's 1/4 inch. So there's no way that Chandler can get through that. And then what we did was we zip tied it all. So we zip tied the grids together. I'll back up a little bit. So we zip tied all the grids together, and then we also zip tied the hardware mesh to the grids. And anywhere where the grids seemed to me, where the hardware mesh didn't seem to really be contacting the grids, I would just put a little zip tie there, just because you don't want it poking out too much, especially around the corners and everything, where your hamster tries to escape and gets caught in between the grids and the hardware mesh. But I can assure you, our last hamster was in a cage very similar to this and we had absolutely no problem. My first hamster was in a he had like a critter trail cage, the old habit trail cages. He had like the space station one, and then he had a third like smaller cage, that's where his wheel was, and then there were tubes galore. We had like 3 tables set up with all these tubes and cages, which was cool for him, but not it doesn't provide a lot of ventilation, I find. So the cages and the tubes would really smell, and I don't really think that's very healthy for your pet to be living in a cage that doesn't breathe properly, because I think especially ammonia levels and things like that, because it's not escaping and it's getting stuck in there with your animal, it can cause health problems. And so my next hamster, Lucy, was in a habit trail oval that was attached to a bin cage. There's nothing wrong with bin cages. I was all for it. They're cheap, they're easy, they're quick to make, and they give your Hammy a lot of space, but I just don't really like the look of it. It looks like I've got a storage container hanging out in my house, and that's just my preference. Like I said, I think they're a great idea, and originally I was going to go back to a bin cage when I was thinking about getting another hamster, but I changed my mind and decided to stick with this design, because I find that the cage doesn't really smell, because oxygen's coming in and out of it, and I think that's more important for your animal as well. We already had all the supplies from Lucy's cage. It was just adding on that second level. So what I did was I actually made the levels that we had pre-built a little higher up, and they're all natural wood, just like the wood, the rabbit cages. So this is all natural wood. We built bases on a storage grid, just like with the rabbit cages. And then what my husband did, because I'll show you in a minute, but this all folds down for me to get into the cage, is we just we zip tied this one at the back here. I don't know, it's right at the back there, but we zip tied it to the grids here, and then we also put a leg on there and attached that just so that it'd be nice and sturdy for Chandler. So we decided that it would be better if it opened at the front, but then we needed to figure out what we were going to use. So my very handy husband found these here. I'm just trying to focus on that and not on me. So found these here. So he got these at Lowe's, and they're just a little hook and lock. There's no way the cats can get in, because that was kind of a concern too. And there's no way that our hamster can get out. And all he's done is he's zip tied them here to secure it. And then this is just going to open like that to open it. So he's put 3 on the front here just to make sure. He said 2 should be enough. He said even really 1 would be okay, but we want to make sure there's going to be no accidents. So I'm just going to open it here, and I'll give you a tour of the cage. I don't know why he told me to do the middle one last. So we'll just do that one last. So we just do that, and then I just open the cage, and voila! We are inside the cage. And now it's very easy for me to access everything, to clean it out. It's not too tall because I'm actually sitting right now and I can reach in there no problem. So I'm just going to give you a little cage tour. Chandler's, of course, he was up not too long ago. I took a little video I'll put in of him, but he is back to sleeping again because it is the daytime. So he's got some of these you may recognize from the beginning of this video where I showed some things I got for him. So there's that little cardboard castle. This is all pet safe materials for him to chew. I put one of the dragons, one of the many little paper things that came in there for chewing in there, because they're actually pretty big. So I've just put the one in there, and the rest I'll save as he chews. This obviously was Lucy's before, because that's why it's pink. But I wasn't going to buy all new things just because some of my stuff's a little girly. His ball is also bright pink. We just have, that's one of those small pet ledges. So I've just put them around randomly in the cage. I have bought 2 of them just because that way, if he decides, because I have seen him just randomly climbing the cage up and down, that way he can take a break if he decides to go somewhere that's not really going to lead anywhere. So this here is just one of his many hideaways. So that's just the woodland getaway, and that's, I believe, the smallest size. I think I've had that since my first hamster, Calvin. It's held up pretty good. And then you can also see I used, this is a mixture of Carefresh and the KT Clean and Cozy. There's a little barrel there that he likes to go through, and he can climb out the holes. There's a whole bunch of holes. These are those little veggie wood chews. This is a little seesaw, but it doesn't really seesaw with all the bedding I put in there. So this is his food dish right here. He is on Hagen, Hamster, and Gerbil Mix. That's what he was on when I purchased him. So I didn't want to switch him up, but I was also looking, and the 2 pet stores right around me didn't have anything else there. So that's what he's on right now. I was going to do a little bit of research because I know some people like Hopping Hammy and Chocolate Colors 26 always, they mix a few different ones together. I don't know if you watch this, because I know Chocolate Colors 26 sometimes comments on my videos. So honey, if you watch this, can you let me know if this one's any decent or not, or if I really should be looking a little harder for another one? I would really appreciate it. And just in the back, let me zoom out so you can see. So just in the back there, I think Chandler's actually sleeping in that little wooden house there to the left. But there's another little hidey house, and there's one that looks like a little cabin just hanging out there too for him. And then what I've got so that he can get to the next levels is this tube set. So this is left over from my hamster, like my habit trail cages here. And what I did was I actually sold those but then kept some of the tubes because, like I said, I had a ton of tubes. And if I can find a picture of what my previous cages looked like, I'll just insert them at the end for you so you can see how they've kind of changed. So I've got a little igloo here. I made sure this one's new, so I made sure it was blue for him. And just one of those log bridge things right here. And he's got a second water bottle right there, just in case if he gets busy up on the top levels, he doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom for a drink. And right here I have a, it's like a grass nest, and it's got little holes in it. And what I've done is I've just suspended it for him with some sisal string, and I haven't made it too far up from the igloo, so he should be able to reach on that, or of course he could climb up the cage, which he loves to do anyways. But I just thought that would be fun to kind of hang from the top there. And then I absolutely loved in Once Upon a Peg's video the log bridge she had found that was a bird toy, but she was going to use it, I think, for her hamster. So I actually found one of these at Pet Value, so I picked it up for him, and I've kind of made it so that he could reach from, he might have to climb a little bit, but the log isn't too high from the bridge, and then the bridge comes over here so he could hop in there, or he could run through his new tunnel. So again, we're going to see how the tunnel goes, because I don't know if he's going to try and chew it or not, but it doesn't have any cotton or anything in it, so I think it'll be okay, but I'll just keep an eye on it. And on the top level here, which the tubes also lead up to, on the top level here we have another chew toy that came in that castle there. And we have a log hideaway. Very similar to the ones the guinea pigs have, just a smaller version, and a Sputnik. So the Sputnik is suspended, but there should be enough space that he can get in there easily. And that is his cage. Oh, I'm sorry, there is a second level right there, just one of those hamster or chinchilla ledges, I mean. Yeah, so I think he's pretty happy. And he's got lots of space to play. I'll just give you one last little look at his cage. And I don't really want to wake him up. I think he is awake because I can kind of hear him gnawing. Chandler! Chandler! Come on out, little ham. Here, let's see. I did just fill up his food dish. So let's see if we can get him to come out for a second. Or at least stick his little hammy nose out. Let's stick his hammy nose out. Because I know he's in there. Here, let's see. Chandler, what's this? What is that? Chandler, little ham, come out, come out. Oh, I see some rustling. Oh, I see a little hammy nose. Hello, hello, sweet hammy. Hello. What are you doing? He was up just a minute ago, so that's why I don't feel bad. Chandler. Well, maybe that's all he's going to give us for now. I will try to... Oh, there he is. There he is. Oh, he's so cute. Little ham. Come on. Come on, Jam-Man. Oh shoot, I gotta go, my battery's dying. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!